Evening, everybody. Hope you guys are all doing well. As well as you can be on a nice smoky day. Looks like it's about 5:10 now, so we got about 5 minutes here until we start. Looks like everything's going all right on my end here, so hopefully everyone can hear me well. Hopefully you guys can see me. No issues with lag or anything or sound quality. So looking forward to a great Tigers class here to start off at 5:15 and then the all-rank class at 6 o'clock, just a little bit after that. We got our new curriculum that we started this week, or we were able to start in a couple days that we could be open. So looking forward to continuing on some sparring stance stuff, jump switch, talking about teamwork, and then a lot of blocking sets that we had started working on for the kids class, the teens and adults. As we wait a little bit here until we start, got a question of the week for you guys. What's your favorite thing to do to pass time when you're stuck inside? We've had a lot of time to kind of think about this, huh? A lot of time over the last couple months to come up with ideas. So let me hear, what's your most recent? And karate cannot be your answer. That's too obvious of an answer, of course, right? I've been doing a little extra reading recently. Had been playing guitar. Had to pack it up though, get ready to move towns, move over to Woodland. Excited. We're looking at about 4 more minutes here, everyone. Reminder, and I'll mention this again at the beginning of class, but make sure that you've got some open space around you. You can have like 5 by 5 feet, that would be ideal. Of course, a little bit more space is never gonna hurt. But even if you don't have quite that much, that's okay, you can still make it work. These squares here, I believe, are about 6 by 6 feet. So I've got about 1 extra foot on either side there. Wave Master's cutting into it just a little bit here. And you won't see me go farther forward than this, really, right? So about 6 by 6 feet is what I'm using here. But you should be able to do it in a little less space than that. You'll see me primarily using kind of this strip here of like 6 by 2 feet or something like that. Especially as we get into our sparring stance and we're sliding forward and back. I'm going to check here real quick and make sure that there's no more issues on Discord, that everybody's able to get to this who would like to. No concerns quite yet, so should be all good. Those jello arms going, kind of warm them up a little bit. Same thing with the legs, shake them around a little bit. Whew, warm it all up. We want those muscles nice and ready to go. And the wrists ready too. There we go. Looks like we're down to about 2 minutes here until we start. One last thing. Very important, especially we had quite a heat wave, right? Make sure you guys are drinking water. Especially today. All right, probably haven't been outside so much, but it's a little, it kind of plays a trick on your mind, right? When you see it kind of darker outside, you tend to assume just clouds and cooler air, but was it still in the upper 80s or 90s, right? So make sure that you're drinking water, stay hydrated. Got about 1 minute until we start, guys. I'm looking forward to it. If anybody is here and would like to let me know, what's your favorite thing to do to pass time when you're stuck inside? Hey Ryan, how are you doing? It's good to have you here ready for class. I'm really excited. Oh, now we're at 55 seconds. Whew. Coming up close to the start of class. Still just kind of moving around a little bit here. Ooh, playing with your dog, that's always a lot of fun. I'm doing a little bit of extra of that with my dog this week, especially with the heat and the smoke now. They can't go for too many long walks, right? So playing around inside a little bit more has been a lot of fun. We've got about 20 seconds until we start class. So, reminder for everybody, make sure that you've got an open space around you. Make sure there's no chairs you're going to trip on, or there's no wall right next to you that you might accidentally hit while you're doing push-ups or anything. Make sure you stay safe. Ooh, hey Neve, good to have you. Been coding a little bit more. Cool. We've got a Tigers class just about to start, and then all-rank class starting up at 6 o'clock. So, it looks like it's time. So one more time, remember guys, keep an open space around you. If you've got some water, make sure it's close by. Very important to stay hydrated, especially with this wild of a heat wave going by. Ooh, new puppy, 8 weeks old. Ooh, that's a really great name, Cosmo, I like that. All right, everyone, let's get started here. Ready to come to attention? Let me get a little closer here. How do you guys feel today? Awesome, sir. Let's bounce you up. We're going to start with our up-down sprint drill. Oh, yeah. This one we're going to be jogging in place, right? Jogging in place just like this. Now, if I say up, jump up nice and high, right? Trying to bring your knees up to your chest like that. If you can't jump up super high, right? Maybe you could jump up just a little bit like that. Or if that's not okay either, it's okay. You can substitute it with a down where we sink down, touch the ground, which leads me to my second one. Down, you're going to bend the knees, touch the ground. Remember, our goal is to keep good posture. And let me take this off so we don't have to stare at that question all day. Right, and then finally, for sprint, you got to get your feet moving as quickly as you can. Trying to sprint in place. Try to get that heart rate up, all right? Ready, and up. And down. And down. And down, up. Ooh, let me go scoot back a little bit. I think I'm jumping out of frame, aren't I? Down, up. Whoop, there we go, my head's standing. And up, down. And sprint. Ooh, get those feet moving quick. How fast can you move the feet and jog? Ooh, hopefully your heart's starting to beat a little bit faster so far, right? If not, make sure those sprints are a little bit faster. And sprint. Feet moving nice and quick. Jog. And up, down. And up, down. 3 in a row now. Up, down. And down, up, down. Down, up, down. There we go. Oh, we're going to get a little bit longer one. Down, down, up, down. Down, down, up, down. And sprint. 4, 3, 2, 1, and jog. All right, last one. Best one, sir. Listen very carefully. We've got a lot of them in a row. Ready? Up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, go. And break, I'm just kidding. Way too many. Woo. Up, down, sprint drill there, guys. Hopefully your heart's beating a little bit faster. If it is not, then make sure you get a couple extra crunches, a couple extra push-ups or sit-ups or squats in just a second here, okay? Now, let's get started on those other warm-ups here. We're going to start with squats. So with squats, bring the feet apart, bend the knees, stand back up. You want to keep your posture. I go at an angle here. I'm not leaning forward. Trying to keep my head up higher than my shoulders, shoulders higher than my hips. All right, we're going 30 seconds with these ones. On your marks, get set, and go. Down and up. There we go. Remember, trying to keep those feet flat on the ground. Trying to keep your hands up too. Super important. We're 15 seconds in. Man, that goes by fast. I'm always surprised when we do just 30 seconds how quickly those go by. We're down to about 6 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1, and break. Awesome. Next up, let's get to our push-ups. Go ahead and lay down. Ready to join? Remember, we have 2 different ones that we can do. We can do the lion version where we lay down on the ground and then we push ourselves up before we lay back down. Or we can do the black belt version You start up high like this, lift yourself low, push yourself back up without letting yourself touch the ground. If you notice, I will have my knuckles down on this one hand to keep my wrist safe. Having some issues with it still, but you guys don't have to do that, right? You can keep your palms down. Ready? 30 seconds on your marks, get set, and go. Remember, nothing less than your best. That's what we want. It's not about speed. You don't have to do these super fast. You want to make sure they're sharp. Meaning my elbows are bending, that it's not my knees going to the ground, it's my chest, and that it's not just my head. Not rocking out at a rock concert. We actually can't do that. And break. That's 30 seconds. We got some crunches next. Go ahead and lay down on your backs. So we can do either crunches or sit-ups, right? For these ones, you want to use your stomach muscles and tense them up to try and pull yourself up. From here, the sit-up is coming all the way up like this. The crunch is coming up just like that. Either way, using your abs. If I use my elbows and hands, then I'm using more of that arm strength. Then I want to use just my stomach. So, as high as you can, using just your stomach. Ready? And go. If you can only go here, that's fine, right? If you can get it all the way up for a sit-up, that's fine too. Do whichever one you would prefer to do. We are about 15 seconds in. That means we have 15 seconds left. We're going to get a chance to talk about our word of the module in just a second. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and break. Excellent. Now, go ahead and take a seat, guys. Take a knee. Get in close so you can hear. Hopefully you can hear from farther away too, but let's get to a spot where we can focus really well. We have less distractions. Now, the word of this module is teamwork. I want you guys to say that on the count of 3 with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Teamwork. And if I asked you what you thought about when I said the word teamwork, what would it be? Think to yourself there. If you wanted to, you could say it out loud, right? But when I think of teamwork, I think of working together, right? Working with the people around me. And when I do that, when I work with the people around me, when I show great teamwork, I'm able to get things done quicker, right? And I'm able to do things better than I was able to do them myself. If I'm trying to pick something up that's really heavy, hey, if I've got a teammate there, we're going to be able to do a better job at it, right? We can move it a lot faster. If I'm trying to create a Lego ship, well, hey, if I've got a teammate to think about ideas with, we're going to make a better ship than I could have made all by myself, right? As long as we're working together, we're showing great teamwork. And that is our word of this module, teamwork. Excellent. Let's stand up. Woo! We got our karate move of the module. It is our sparring stance. Now, let's say that we were partners and we were going to go to a sparring stance facing towards each other. I actually can't stay just like this. My belly button and the knot of my belt are facing towards you. I'm going to have to take my whole body and turn it to the side. So watch this. Toes pointed towards you, belly button, knot of the belt. I'm going to turn it to one side. And now if you look at my feet, see the toes pointing straight to the side towards those wave masters. My belly button, knot of the belt, same thing. But my eyes are going to face towards you. You're my teammate, you're my partner. And my hands are going to come up towards you too. Right? And in the sparring stance, we do light little bounces on the balls of our feet, right up by our toes. So we bounce very lightly. I want to stay pretty much close and in contact with the ground. If I do this, that's not a sparring stance, that's like a jump, right? I'm just jumping over and over and over again. So, here's our sparring stance. Back to attention. Let's do it again. As soon as I say go, go into that sparring stance. Go! Remember, our body turns to the side, we keep our eyes forward. Attention. What about going the other side? Other foot back, toes pointing that way, stomach pointing that way, hands up towards you, eyes towards you, light little bounces. Back to attention. Now when I say go, you get to pick which side you want to go to. If you want to go to the left, go to the left. If you want to go to the right, go to the right. Ready? And go. Sparring stance. Back to attention. And go. There we go. And if you want to switch sides, back to attention. If you want to switch sides this time, you can. Go. Light little bounces. Attention. Go. Attention. Excellent. Now let's talk about our jump switch. I start in this ready stance, or this sparring stance. When I say switch, when we do that jump switch, our body switches directions like that. Now, It's not right, true to the name. I'm not actually going to jump for this, right? So this would be a pretty sloppy jump switch. 1, you couldn't see me anymore. My head was like way up there. It was like I was 7 feet tall over there, right? 2, that took a really long time. So instead, we're in our sparring stance here. When we switch, see if you can listen to this, okay? Listen, see if you can hear my feet. Ooh, you might have been able to. I'm not too sure if you will, but if I scoot back, you'll see them. They stay really close to the ground. That's our goal, okay? Let's try it out. Sparring stances. Whenever I say switch, you're going to jump switch. But keep your eyes on me the whole time. If you ever lose focus of me, we got to turn the other way. Ready? Switch. And switch. Good. Switch. Switch. Excellent. Pause. I want you to watch this next jump switch, okay? And think to yourself, is this the sharpest one Manoi Cree could do? Ready? Just watch. What do you guys think? If you said no, you think I can get a little bit sharper, you'd be right. My eyes turn and look towards the red wall over there. I want to keep them on you. So watch me jump switch this way, and then I'm going to go back, and so I'm always switch directions. That way, I can keep my eyes on you the whole time. Let's keep going. Sparring stance. Switch. 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 And break. Nice. Now let's get a little tricky. If I say switch, you're going to jump switch. But if I say anything different, if I say swatch, don't jump switch, okay? Ready? Switch. Switch. Swatch. Okay. Sandwich. Switch. Switch. Swampy. Okay. And witch. Okay. And Gilgert. That one doesn't even sound like it. Switch. 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 Swatch. Oh man. Sandwich. Swamp. Swing. Switch. Oh, good. Switch. Last one here. Ready? And sandwich. Oh, I'm just kidding. Now the last one. Switch. And break. Back to attention. I want you guys to take a knee for me. Again, let's sit down crisscross. One knee up, one knee down. Make sure that you are able to focus and listen very carefully here. The word before was teamwork. Working together. We're going to find a lot of opportunities in our life to work with other people. Let's talk about a couple of them. One, with my family, right? With my parents. I can be a good teammate with them by listening to them, making sure that I do what they ask me to right away. Meaning, if they ask me to clean my room, I don't say, no, Mom, I'll do that next year. No. Right? I'm going to do it right away. I don't say, no, Dad, I'll brush my teeth like next week. No, right? If they need me to brush my teeth, I'm going to do it right away. That's me being a good teammate. Also, just by following the rules. For example, I know there's a rule in my house. Anytime I walk in, I take my shoes off and I put them in the shoe rack. I know other people have shoe bins, right? But if we follow that rule, I put my shoes there, that's me being a good teammate to my family. If there's a rule to not jump on the couch, hey, if I do that, I make sure that I don't jump on the couch, I follow that rule, that is me being a good teammate. So listening, making sure we do things right away, making sure we follow the rules. If you have a brother or sister, you're probably spending a lot of time with them recently, right? We can show great teamwork with them by listening to them, sharing with them, sharing ideas, right? If I've got a toy and he wants to play with it too, hey, we can share. Right? That's us being good teammates, working together. Now, we got a couple more we'll talk about in just a second, but we got a couple more karate moves to do, right? Let's stand up. We talked about our sparring stance. We talked about our jump switch. Let's talk about our slide step too. Now for this one, I'm actually going to turn sideways so you can see my feet a little bit better, okay? Let's say that my teammate was this bag right over here. One of my best friends over here. We spend a lot of time together. So, right, if he's my teammate here, I can do my jump switch, but I can also move closer or farther away from him. If I want to move a little farther, I'm going to pick up this foot, and I'm going to push off this one, and I slide away. Now look at that. Did my body turn at all? No, right? It was just a slide. I can do the other leg if I want to do it closer. Pick the close one up, push off the back one, and hey, look at that. I got a little bit closer. I can slide away. I can slide closer. Now what does that look like with you? If we're teammates here, I'm in my ready stance, I'm in my sparring stance. If I wanted to go closer to you, this front leg picks up and I push off the back one, and look at that, I got a little bit closer. If I wanted to go away, I pick up that foot, I push, and I slide. So I can go forward, I can go backwards, I can go forward, I can go forward, I can go forward, I can go forward. Ugh. I'm crushing the camera there. I can go backwards, and I can go backwards, and backwards, and backwards, and backwards. And no, that's as far back as I can go because there's a wall right here. So let's try this out. I'm going to say forwards or backwards, and I want you to slide forwards towards me or backwards away from me. But everyone pause for a second here. This is really important. I need to make sure that I am aware of where I am. So I'm going to use this bag as an example because I know that it's not going to break. If I'm right here, and I heard my instructor say slide forwards, but the bag's right there, I'm going to skip that instruction, all right? I give you the option to do that because I do not want you to do this and crash into a wall, right? That is not good, right? I want to make sure that wall stays intact. I want to make sure that I stay safe. So if you get too close to the screen or there's something behind you and I say slide, but you would crash into something, do not do that, all right? Make sure that you're watching, and you'll see me every once in a while. As I slide back, I'm going to look to make sure that I don't slide into the wall. I want you guys to do that too, okay? Here we go. Sparring stance. Ready, and switch. Adding one of those in there. Ready, forwards. That means you got to slide towards me. I'm going to slide away from you. Ooh, actually, probably a little better. I'm going to slide towards you at the same time, okay? When I say forwards, we both go towards the screen. Ready, and backwards. Sliding away. Backwards. There we go. Forwards, closer, and forwards. Good, if you've still got space, forwards. That's it, I'm out of space now. Backwards, and backwards. Switch, switch, backwards, backwards. See that? I'm just making sure I don't hit the wall. Forwards, switch, backwards, forwards, forwards again. Switch, 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 backwards, forwards, backwards, switch, backwards, switch, forwards, backwards, switch, backwards, switch, 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 forwards, forwards, backwards. Break. Whew. I was starting to get sloppy there. That's not good. Whew. Nice work, guys. Give ourselves a quick round of applause. Give ourselves a pat on the shoulders. Nice job. All right. Let's talk about teamwork one more time here. And our class is just about up. So, with teamwork, guys, we talked about showing teamwork with our family. We've talked about showing it with our siblings, right? Or in the future when we can hang out with our friends again, right? Showing teamwork with them by sharing with them and listening to them. What about with teachers? Hey, it's probably pretty close to when we're going back to school, right? And even if we're doing school in a slightly different way than we're used to, we can still be great teammates to our class. One thing we always did before is, well, just like with our parents, follow the rules of the classroom. If there are certain things that I need to do when I'm in class, whether I'm watching it through the screen or whenever we go back in person, if I follow those rules, I am being a great teammate. And that's important, right? I need to make sure that I'm caring about the other kids in my class, that we're all working together. There's going to be special rules about when we can talk and when we can share something, right? And your teacher may have special rules about how you do that over distance learning. In the classroom, I remember, we raise our hand, and when the teacher calls on me, you say, Creed, if you have something to share, then I could share, right? That's me being a good teammate, following the rules of the classroom, listening to my teacher, right? So make sure that we are excellent teammates as we jump back into school too. Again, teamwork, working together, we can accomplish so much more when we work together, and we're going to be able to do a better job of whatever we are doing when we've got teammates and we work well together. Now, let's stand up. We've got our Tiger Promise to do here. Everyone come to attention. Raise your hand and repeat after me. I promise to be a good person, to be a good person, to put knowledge in my mind, to put knowledge in my mind, to put honesty in my heart, to put honesty in my heart. You ready? To put strength in my body, to put strength in my body, and to make good friends. To make good friends. Excellent. Come back to attention here. All right, good work today, guys. We had our awesome sparring stance we worked on, that slide step and the jump switch. Remember, it is tip testing next week. If you're doing your tip testing online, feel free to submit a video. If you'd like to sign up for any private lessons, on the top left side of Discord, there should be a bar that says private lesson information. You can find a link to the Google Sheet there and sign up. I apologize if you can hear the train going by right now, if it's too loud, but If you would like to sign up for a private lesson, you can do it that way. We've got options for you to tip test through that as well. In fact, I had a couple students earlier today tip test who are probably jumping into my all-rank class later. And then lastly, I'm pointing that way because that's where the windows are outside here. Just with the poor air quality, we do not believe it's going to be getting any better. So as of right now, the classes on Friday, the in-person classes on Friday and Saturday are going to be canceled until next week. So please make sure you're aware of that. I hope you guys stay safe. Please make sure that you stay healthy. And then the final thing, remember that next week, if you are attending in-person classes, the schedule is changing with the change to a lot of us going back to in-school, right? Where a lot of the classes are going to be in the morning. So we got some classes in the afternoon. Looking forward to it. So if you guys have any questions for me, please let me know. I'll be around a little bit here too, okay? Let's come to attention. And hope you guys have a great evening. Hope you guys stay safe. Again, all rank class is starting in about 25 minutes there at 6 o'clock sharp. Ready? Come attention. And let's bow out. Class dismissed. Nice work, guys. Give yourself a round of applause. Make sure you drink water, everybody. I'm going to have it muted for just a second here. Get some water, and then I'll be back on just a second if you guys have any questions, okay? Afternoon, sorry, afternoon, evening to everybody who's still in here. There might be a little bit of breeze going on. You might hear a little bit of noise, but just to keep the room a little bit cooler. Double check I got everything for the class starting up in about 20 minutes here. Make sure you're ready for some sparring stuff and then some push-ups too. Ooh, gotta make sure my wrist stays safe. Hey Gananika, how you doing? Welcome back in the class. We got to start in about 20 minutes here. We got one more week of some blocking sets, and I think we might have some pinions coming up after that. That should be a blast. Oh, I've been doing coding too. Neve was in here a little bit earlier. We're saying that she's been doing a lot of coding as well. And art, ooh, very cool. What kind of art? Anything specific? Do you like to use more paint, charcoal, digital, watercolor? I've been doing a little bit more reading and a little bit of guitar playing too. Finished up watching Avatar, and I'm sure like a lot of people who watched it, Legend of Korra came on Netflix, and I started watching a little bit of that. Just a couple episodes in. Watercolors, oh okay. Very impressive. I could never get those too well. I'm always amazed by people who can. What are we looking at here? About 5:43. Awesome. We got about 17 minutes left here. Or not 17 minutes left, 17 until we start. There we go. We got some time. We'll go through some pinions. I haven't had a chance to go through those in a long time, so let's see, where's a good place to start? Black belts, I think, have pinion 7 coming up. Let's do a quick run through opinion 7. Let's have some fun with that. Took me a second there, huh? One of my favorite moves. You can't quite see it, but it's a supported Shudo chop. Oh, blocking scheme. Tiger claw. Oh man. For all our level 3s and advanced students, some stuff that is familiar to us. Oh man, I forgot how fun Pinion 7 is. That's gonna be an exciting one to do next module. I think it's coming up. Oh, there we go. Now I can see what people say. We got just under 15 minutes till we start. I will be right back, alright? I'm just gonna be muted for a second here. Sorry guys, I am back here. Alright, everything's looking good, cool. We're all set to start in about 5-6 minutes here at 6 o'clock. Let me get one last drink of water here. We got some blocking sets coming our way to everybody who is still here. Anybody who's joining in a second, they will find out about it. Anybody who is here who hasn't let me know. Question of the week here. What have you guys been doing to pass time inside? We had a whole lot of time, a couple months to kind of figure things out we really enjoyed. And this is bringing it all back, all the smoke outside. So what are you guys enjoying? Ooh, Sebastian's here. Ooh, invent things to play with. I love that. I use the creativity for it. That would work really well if you ever feel in the future think about joining demo team. You talk to them about creating forms. That was always a fun division in tournaments of creative forms when you got to decide what you wanted to do. When you could create your own thing of just going like, oh, I'm gonna go forward stance, punch, horse stance next, kempo kick, outward block, back kick. You get to create your own thing. Playing some video games. Ooh, what kind of video games are you doing, Miran? Super Miran? If you don't mind sharing, of course. If you wouldn't like to share, that is okay too. I'm getting ready to move into Woodland soon, but before that I had pulled out my GameCube. I'm sure you probably saw me playing some Pokemon on my Game Boy Color. I remember you talking about systems there. Paper Mario and Fortnite, nice. I had been playing just purely for nostalgic reasons. Tony Hawk's Underground Skater 2, I want to say, and getting a little bit of Super Smash Bros. Melee in there. That was a blast to do. We're at about 4 minutes here, guys, or maybe 3 minutes there. I'll remind you guys now and then remind everybody as the class starts as well. Make sure you guys have some space that is open around you that you are, that you know is going to stay clear, so you're not going to injure yourself on anything, right? No stepping on anything, no crashing into anything. So make sure you guys have some space around you. And it's deceptive outside. It feels like it should be cooler, but it is still warm, right? Kind of passes off on the inside too. You feel a little bit warmer. Make sure you guys are drinking enough water. It's a little easier to forget as it gets a little cooler, or if you get the impression that it's cooler outside when that's really the time you need it still. Speaking of, get a little bit before we start here. Actually, let me turn this off, not this, sorry, but the AC off real quick. It looks like it's a little loud. It's not the worst up there, but I can still see the volume slider moving it, so make sure it's nice and clear for you guys, you can hear everything. About 2 more minutes. If anybody else has just joined, question of the week, what do you guys enjoy doing inside? I had mentioned a little earlier, I've been enjoying doing a little extra reading. A chance to just about done with The Hobbit. Sifu Miran, I know you're a big Lord of the Rings fan. Not sure if you've read through The Hobbit all, but it's an entertaining one. I've been playing a little extra guitar recently too. Always enjoyed doing that. And then me and Ryan talked a little earlier about playing the dog inside too. Always great, especially as it's hotter outside. Especially now. I keep pointing this way because that's where the windows are. I know you guys can't see outside that way, but especially as it's hazy outside. Whew. It's wild, huh? Ah, you were awesome. Lord of the Rings is definitely a different read. Taking a little break in it. I'm just starting up book 5. Probably about 2 chapters into book 5, I think. And hey, Sahila, how you doing? Looks like we're at about 1 minute here. Let's see. Any questions on Discord about everything? Nope, it's looking good. Excellent. Oh, boom, boom. There we go. Beowulf. Oh, nice. I got it from my dad, who always reading Tolkien and watching, through Lord of the Rings. I think he does about a yearly reread. All right, looking like about 45 seconds here. Also play guitar. Awesome. You do mostly electric guitar, acoustic, classical. As we get started here, if anybody has some requests for warm-ups, again, that's one of my favorite parts about being able to do this is we got some extra time. We don't have to be exact on everything, right? If you got some requests on warm-ups, let me know. The lesson plan calls for 30-20-10s today, so we're going to make sure we get those. Classical, oh, I love it. Mario Bros, I like that too, nice. If you got requests for warm-ups, guys, then let me know. If not, we'll stick to just the 30-20-10s, not get any bonus ones. Or, I don't know, depending on how I feel, I may decide we get to do some bonus ones. But there's the clock. It says 6 o'clock sharp, so let's get started here. Everybody, come to attention. How do you guys feel today? Awesome, so let's bow. Down, let's start. We're jogging in place here. We'll get to some up-down sprint drill in just a second. Announcements, and I'll remind you guys this at the end too. All right, we've got makeup tip testing right now for anyone who missed the chance to tip test on our striking set from last module. Working on our blocking sets, and tip testing for that will be next week, right? You can do that online if you want to submit a video. If you want to do a private lesson, you can do those too, right? They've been a lot of fun this week. And finally, I'm sure you guys have heard about the last couple days, and you're probably anticipating it too. You'll get an email soon, but we don't have any in-person classes through Saturday, just due to the air being hazardous or very unhealthy, right? So let's make sure we stay inside, stay healthy. But let's get to our up-down sprint drill here. Ready? Up means we jump up high. Ready? And up. And let me scoot back. That way my head stays in frame. And down. Sink down, touch the ground. If I say sprint, get those feet moving. Ready? And sprint. Feet moving nice and quick. And jog. And up, down. And down, up. And sprint. Again, get those feet moving nice and quick. And jog. The goal is after this up-down sprint drill to have that heart beat a little bit faster, breathing a little bit heavier. And up, down. And down, up, down. And sprint. Get those feet moving quick, feet moving quick. How fast can you move those feet? And jog. And down, up, down. Let's get into the guitar strum section here. Down, down, up, down. Remember, if you got 2 downs in a row, you want to stand up in between. Down, 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 up, down. And every rock guitar player's favorite strum pattern. Down, 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 down. Woo! Whole bunch of squats here. And sprint. Feet moving quick, feet moving quick. 3, 2, 1, and jog. Action. We're going to have one more sprint here, guys. We're going 10 seconds. Once you get those feet moving nice and quick, take a little bit of a break here. Gather that breath. Ready? 10 seconds. I'm watching the clock, so you guys aren't getting any see-through seconds. It's not going to go for like 20. And sprint. 10 seconds. There's 4, 5, 3, 2, 1, and break. There we go, guys. Woo! Up, down sprint drill there. Let's get to our student creed. We got 30-20-10s after that. Ready? Set position. Remember, you want to have that arm or that hand that's open, the left hand, should be flat right there. You want your fingers together too. And student creed. Student creed, sir. Line 1. I pledge to develop myself in a positive manner. Line 2. I pledge to use what I learn in class constructively and defensively. Line 3. I pledge to foster friendships and contribute to my community. And let's bow. Excellent. So we got 30, 20, 10s in just a second here. Let me take this off so we don't have to look at it all the whole time. You got some basketball inside. I love it. We got 30, 20, 10. So I'm going to grab some weights here to make sure my wrists stay nice and safe. And if you guys haven't done these before, for 30, 20, 10s, normally they'd be done with a partner, where one partner, let's say, weightmaster over here, would do 30 push-ups. And then this partner would do 30 push-ups. This partner would then do 30 crunches. 30 crunches, there are our 30s. Then we go to our 20s. 20 push-ups, 20 push-ups, 20 crunches, 20 crunches. So you guys get the idea, right? We go 10 next. 10 push-ups, 10 push-ups, 10 crunches, 10 crunches. Now, if you've got someone there with you, hey, you can go back and forth on these, right? If you're just by yourself, you can either time it with me. So I'll do my push-ups and then you do yours. And then I do my crunches and you do yours. If you want to try and do that, go ahead in the chat. Say, hey, I just finished my 30 push-ups and I'll know when to start. If not, I'm going to estimate it, okay? So we got our push-ups starting off first. You got a partner, use them. If not, following along with me or going right after me. Start 30 push-ups. Ready, set, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This will be halfway. 17, 18, 19, 20. 10 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 30. Woo! It's always the last 5 and the 20 count that get to me. All right, so there's 30 push-ups. If you had a partner, they'd be doing their 30 push-ups right now. If you guys are doing your push-ups right now, you're following after me, right? Tell me in the comments, let me know when you guys finish. If not, I'm just going to estimate it, okay? But we got 30 crunches next. If you would like to substitute a little bit more of a challenge, you want to do 30 sit-ups, that's another option. Makes it a little more challenging for us. All right, if you're doing your push-ups now, keep it going. Keep those sharp. If you finish them up and you're in your breathing, right, you're taking your little break, make sure you take nice deep breaths. If you need some water, grab some water. Very important to stay hydrated. Even more so when you're starting to work out, right? All right, get in a couple seconds here. I'll go like 5 more seconds and get on to my 30 crunches after that. To everybody in here, we got some blocking sets to do in a minute. All right, 30 crunches. Ready, set, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do your best to use the abs. Keep them nice and tight. That way, right, the abs are working, and it's not just like momentum swinging you up. There's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20. There's 10 left. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 30. All right. We got 20s coming up next, right? We just did 30 push-ups, 30 crunches. It would be 20 push-ups and 20 crunches next. So, you just finished up those crunches. Take a little breather. Right, especially when you've got a larger number of the exercise. You want to make sure you give those muscles a little bit of time to recover. So I like to learn new things. I didn't see that part. What have you been trying to learn new recently? You got something specific, let us know here. Right, 20 push-ups, go for it. If you got a partner, make sure you keep going back and forth. Woo. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. These are the ones that usually get to me. 18, 19, 20. Woo! There we go. Get a little bit stronger with those ones. All right. Your partner would be going now, right? Got 20 crunches coming up next. And as we go through, I'm not going to give you guys anything less than my best. I'm going all out. I hope you guys are too. Even if no one is there watching you. Don't get to 19 and be like, oh, okay, I'm done, right? No. Give yourself that extra one. Make sure you're pushing yourself. When we try to get a little bit better, that's when we really see big improvement in the long term. Think about it in terms of climbing a staircase. Yeah, sometimes you can make it up 2 at a time, but sometimes you're going to slip. If you tried to go 3, 4, 5 at a time, you're going to fall and fall all the way back down, right? If you take it 1 stair at a time, 1 step at a time, you reach the top a lot easier with better progress. All right, 20 crunches, right? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me get some sit-ups for the last 10. 3, 4, 5. Hopefully we're breathing heavy. Oh, I think I lost count. 9, 10. Whew. 10 push-ups are coming up next. I'm taking about a 15-second breather here. I think my partner will probably get them done in about that time. Remember, we got 10 push-ups. We got 10 crunches right after that. In fact, I'm going to try and have 0 break in between those two. Just going from the push-ups to the sit-ups or the crunches right away. There's my time, 10 push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Right into those crunches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew, if you're finished up, give yourself a round of applause, give yourself a pat on the back. Those are always a blast to get through. Let me put these off to the side real quick. All right, everybody. Let's get to some stretching here. I'm going to start off with just the butterfly stretch. Nice and simple. Excellent. Well, hopefully those push-ups and those crunches are treating you well. Hopefully got a little bit of a challenge out of them. I know I did. Especially on those last 5 push-ups and the 20 count. And coming to those last 3 and 4 and the 10 count of push-ups. Those always get to me. I'm going to go 1 foot out. Reach towards your foot here. We'll get to our message week in just a second here. I'm going to get this stretch and then 1 more afterwards. And our message of the week is one of my personal favorites. It's the first one I ever remember hearing way back in kinder karate. You guys may be thinking, Manoy Cree, what is kinder karate? That's not something, is it? And it is not now. It's now known as Tigers. But at the time, when I joined in, it was known as kinder karate. All right, hit your favorite stretches here. We got about a minute. I want to talk about our message of the week. So again, the boulder story I heard about when I was way back when as a white belt, probably in kinder karate. And the boulder story is a story about a student getting ready for their black belt test, right? And they tried to prepare as best they could. They went running, they did their push-ups, they did their sit-ups, they did their squats, they worked on all their pinions, punch decks, grabs, their stick work, bear hug, all these different things. And when they showed up to their test, it was a little bit different than they expected. The instructor instead locked up the school, took them out to this open field where there was a hill, a big boulder at the bottom, and said, the only thing you need to do for your test is push that boulder to the top of the hill. We're about 30 seconds into that stretch, by the way, if you want to switch sides. And so the student tried to push his boulder up the top of the hill. They tried so many different things. They tried just, pushing it regularly. They tried to get like a running start. They tried to get a smaller rock and a plank of wood, a lever underneath it, uses a lever to kind of roll it up and then push it. And the stories get wild, Tried to break it down into smaller problems, thinking of, take all these smaller problems, it's easier than a big problem. They tried to rent a car, but they weren't 23, so they couldn't actually rent the car and it didn't work, right? All these wild ideas, but they never were able to get the boulder to the top of the hill. There's 1 minute if you're stretching, you want to get 1 more bonus 30 seconds in here. And then went over to the instructor and said, hey, I can't do this. I've tried so many different options and it's just not working. And the instructor looked at him and said, you never asked me for help. And the moral of the story is, don't be afraid to ask for help, right? There's going to be a lot of situations in life where we just cannot do something by ourselves, right? And there's 30 seconds, by the way, we'll get the last 30 seconds here, we'll wrap it up. Whether that's like, my mind's not moving, trying to carry a heavy couch, you probably can't do that by yourself, right? Get someone to help you out with it. If you're jumping back into school in a couple days, right? Or if you have people in your house who are jumping back into school, there are going to be some different challenges, right? For a lot of us, it's going to be, hey, I'm doing distance learning for the first time. Or it might be, it's really smoky outside, and normally when I would take a break right now, I can't go outside and take that break. So we're going to encounter these different problems, and it would be foolish for us to think that we have to handle it by ourselves, right? We can reach out to people, whether they're our teachers, there are other students in class with us, friends, family. We can reach out to them and ask them for help. It's a sign of strength to be able to admit that. sign of strength to be able to reach out and say, hey, can you help me with this problem? So the boulder story is our message of the week. Let's jump into our blocking sets here, everybody. So we got 3 of them. We got blocking set 1, 2, and 3. For my beginner level 1 students, for kids classes, we're working on blocking set 1. For all my teens and adults, you guys get the choice of picking 2 or 3. While level 2 kids, you're working on blocking set 2, and then level 3 and 4 kids, you're working on blocking set 3. So let's go ahead and get started here. Blocking set 1, we're going to be doing this from a horse stance. If there's any times you need to relax that horse stance a little bit, please feel free. You notice we did a little more upper body, arms, and abs, and a little less legs today because there's going to be a lot of these horse stance, right? So blocking set 1, we start with 2 outward blocks. Right hand first. By the way, I'm going to mirror you guys. So right side of the screen means right hand. Left side of the screen, left hand. Right, outward block first. Scoops down and around 1, other hand 2. When you do these, remember that there's this middle line of your body, this midline that goes right through your nose to your mouth, right? And I want my hand to cross that line not once, but twice. So 1, 2. 3 and 4 were upward blocks. Bring it up above our head here. And then 5 and 6, inward blocks. Again, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then 5 and 6. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The final thing I'd like to mention, remember that for the upward blocks here, you're going to take your arm, you're going to rotate it, so that the underside of the arm, soft part of the arm here, is what's going to be doing the blocking. If I rotate it here and you feel the arm, there's a little more bone right here that I want to avoid blocking with. Roll it all the way so the palm points to what you want to block with, all right? Or where you're blocking. Go ahead and start working on that blocking set number 1. For everybody else, or sorry, everyone who's working on blocking set 2, not everybody else. Working on blocking set 2, let's get started here. The first 2 blocks are just about the same as the outward block. Same motion, but instead of using a closed hand and leading with the thumb out, you've got palm forward, using the out of the hand, the blade of the hand. It's called the blade of the hand block. So, right hand 1, left hand 2. 1 and 2. For both of these, for blocking set 1 and for blocking set 2, with these first blocks, our goal is to stop the block at our shoulder. If I go farther than that, you can see the inside of my bicep there. That means I've started to block this area over here of air, which I don't need to do. I just need to block my body, which stops at my shoulder. 1, 2. 3 and 4 are peacock blocks. So, right hand first. You're going to have the back of the hand blocking up. We need to get this above our head. Elbow tucked right underneath our wrist. Other hand, in this case, my left hand is going to be doing a palm block down. And we'll switch to the other side for 4. So we had 1 and 2, 3 and 4. One more time. Blade of the hand blocks, peacock blocks, and then 5 and 6 are going to be nice, simple palm blocks, right? Right hand first. Kind of like the inward blocks of blocking set 1, right? Palm block, palm block. One final time, I'll have you guys start practicing. Blade of the hand, peacock block, palm block, palm block. Blocking set 2, once you guys start working on that, for both sets 1 and 2, start working around the world. Face different directions as you do these, okay? Blocking set 3, this one's actually done from a ready stance. It's not done from a horse stance. The first 2 blocks are actually blocks 5 and 6 from blocking set 2. We're doing palm blocks to start off. So, from the stance here, and sorry, I should mention this first. All of the blocks, we're always going to start blocking to the right side. Not with the right side, but towards the right side. So, going to be blocking over that way. If I've got palm blocks here, I got to start with my left hand actually. Palm block for 1 with the left, palm 2 with the right. Now 3 and 4, downward blocks. Again, we need to block to the right first, to the left second. This time it's going to be right and then left. So we actually use the right hand twice in a row. Palm, palm, same hand, down, down. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Now, I know there's about a 5-second delay. So if anyone wants to, I'll wait the 5 seconds. If anybody does not want to hear a story about blocking sets, let me know right now. Okay, I didn't see anything. I'm going to tell you guys the story right now. Okay, blocking schemes are my next blocks. Sorry, a little joke there. Blocking schemes are next, and I have a really cool story about this if anyone working blocking set 1 or 2 wants to hear it too. So, this was about 2 years ago. I was getting ready to go into the grocery store. I was walking along, and there was this Prius in this spot that had started up, and man, it was really quiet, so I didn't hear it start up at all. And as I was walking by, imagine I'm walking this way, right? The Prius started to back up, and as I went behind it, I instinctually went, boom, with this blocking scheme. I did not hit the car, but guess what? The car stopped moving. My blocking scheme was powerful enough that it stopped the car through the air. It's that powerful. Just kidding, right? It did stop it, but I'm pretty sure the person saw me. But blocking scheme, it was really cool to have that reaction, right? Boom, boom, 3, 4. A blocking scheme is really just a palm block combined with a downward block. So I would do my palm block across and downward block at the same time, but I'm gonna turn my hips a little bit more so that my elbows come closer together. That's 5, right? So I already had 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 is off to the side, and 6 off to the side. Good to hear at least one person thought that story was interesting. Black belts, I'm sorry, you guys have probably heard that story like once a year, so, or once every 6 months. But we had 5 to one side and 6 to the other there. So blocking set 3, I want you guys to get started working on those 6. Again, palm blocks, downward blocks, and then our blocking schemes. Blocking set 1, let's jump back to you guys here. Let's review super quick again from our horse stance. We had 1 and 2, upward blocks 3 and 4, inward blocks 5 and 6. Now 7 and 8 are actually the same blocks that blocking set 3 was doing for 3 and 4. We're going to do downward blocks. In our case, since you've probably noticed that all of our blocks have been closed hand, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to keep it closed for 7 and 8. Comes across the face first, inward block, and it sweeps low to the leg. That way I'm blocking like lower on my stomach, where an inward block or an outward block wouldn't quite get it. So 7, 8. 7 and 8. And just like the outward block, it crosses this midline 2 times. Across the face and swing low. Sorry, I started to think about the car again. So 7 and 8. Let's wrap these ones up. 9 and 10 for blocking set 1. Upward cross block and then downward cross block. And the most important thing I want you guys to think about with those upward cross blocks is not letting yourself get complacent and not getting lazy with the block and just kind of going, yep, there's my block. Because if I go here, you guys can still see my head, right? I'm going to get hit in the head with that one. I need it up above my head here. That way, if something was striking down, it would get caught between my arms. Excellent. One more time, blocking set 1. Outward blocks 1 and 2. Upward blocks 3 and 4. Inward 5 and 6. Downward 7 and 8. Across the face, swing low. And then 9 and 10, cross blocks. Excellent. You finish by coming back to attention. If you guys have questions on blocking set 1, please let me know. Blocking set 2, let's get going. We got a couple more blocks here. We had already done the first 6, right? So we did our blade of the hand blocks. We did our peacock blocks, our palm blocks for 5 and 6. 7 and 8 are just like the blade of the hand block. But instead of using the out of our arm here and the blade of the hand, we're going to use the back of the hand. Called, of course, back of the hand blocks. There we go. 7 and 8. And then 9 and 10 is a nice, easy way to wrap it up. We've got an open hand upward cross block for 9. 10, we just come back to attention. And I'm pretty sure it has to be done this way. Well, I've always done it that way, at least, and always seen it done this way. Move number 10 is not just hands here, but you got to get a little bit more flashy, right? Nice big circle to that attention. Make it look a little cooler. So that's the end of blocking set 2. Again, adding in 7 and 8, the back of the hand blocks, and then 9 and 10, the upward cross block, followed by that attention. Awesome. Start adding those in, everyone. Blocking set 3. I didn't mix up the words set and scheme here. I've been doing that a little bit. So blocking set 3, we have the last of our blocking schemes. We had regular blocking scheme here, and I don't know if you guys agree that when you say a word enough, it starts to not sound like a word. At this point, blocking scheme doesn't sound real to me. But blocking schemes here, we got blocking scheme high. So for 7 and 8, for a blocking scheme high, I start on this blocking scheme, and this low hand is going to slide up until my arms are crossed. You can kind of see them making this X there, right? Very small X. It's not quite here, but keeping them close, and then I try and get them vertical like this. All right? So that's 7 to the right, 8 is to the left. You can probably guess what 9 and 10 are. If we just did regular blocking schemes high, we're going to have blocking schemes low next, right? So we go to our blocking scheme, and again, that word is not sounding real to me, right? High hand this time is going to slide down, and we sink our stance just a tiny bit. Then we go to the other side. Blocking scheme, slide the arm down, sink the stance just a little bit. And that wraps up blocking set 3. Let's do it one more time. Ready, stance? Start blocking to the right side first. 1, 2, other hand. 3, Notice here after 3, I brought this hand back up. I'm going to 1 it up when I do 4. So 3 and 4. 5, 6, high for 7 and 8, and low for 9 and 10. Excellent. So, how to position a non-blocking hand. First 4 blocks. Good question there, right? If, I mentioned in terms of the downward block, you just want to pull it back up, keeping it by the face here. If you want to keep it kind of open and curled, fingers open that way is fine. If you start to close it, that's all right. But given that you're going to be doing a lot of open hand blocks, probably better to keep them open here. And final thing to mention about actually every hand on that one and blocking set 2. If you do a blocking set 2, pause for a second. You guys have probably noticed too that all of your blocks are done with open hand. And the big thing you need to remember when you're doing an open hand block is that these fingers become incredibly important, right? As soon as I start to block with my fingers apart here, they relax a little bit. They lose some strength to them. So I want to keep them tense. I want to keep them tight together. Make sure that, right, they're just working as a team, that they stick together and they can stay stronger that way. Excellent. So, yeah, those first 4 blocks, keep it up, keep it up. And from here, it can just swing down, but this one stays up, and then they trade places there. Then you go into your blocking schemes, working all of them together. One more challenge for blocking set 3 people. If you guys ever make it to a wedding, I want to challenge you guys to try and do blocking set 3 in the middle of the dance hall, right? So you're dancing afterwards, you got to do your best to get your blocking scheme going here and get those dance moves flowing. I don't think it'll work too well with blocking set 1, but you can still do it. All right. Back, one more fun story for you guys. I'm sure if you don't find it fun, I'm sorry, but I always enjoy it. I didn't practice too well as a young student, at least not in the traditional sense. I never went and said, okay, Mom, I'm going to practice pinion 1, or I'm going to practice my punches. But she noticed something after talking to a black belt at that point, oh, Cree doesn't practice too much. Well, watch other opportunities, and I somehow managed to get blocks into dances and kicks and punches and stuff like that. So any way you can practice is a good way to practice. Any other questions on blocking sets for me, guys? Blocking set 1, 2, or 3. If you have anything special, let me know. One thing I will talk about if there's anything else that compiles, you guys have any questions? One thing I'd like to mention is be aware of where your blocks go. I kind of talked about this with outward blocks and blade of the hand, right? That with these ones, your goal is to stop it right at the shoulder. Well, let's say I'm working on a downward block from a ready stance here. My goal is to block my leg or my lower body here so I can swing it low, and I would stop it at my leg. Well, if I get into a horse stance, you guys can see my legs are a little bit wider. If I stopped it at the same spot there, well, that's not going to do me as much good, right? I need to block my leg, so I got to, that's what felt weird, I have my hand up. Right? I got to get it to my leg there so I can keep my leg safe. If it's an upward cross block, an upward block, if it's an upward peacock block, right? That's got to be above my head. The purpose is to keep my head safe. I need my hand to be above my head, right? So what am I blocking? Is my hand getting to the right position to block it? It's a question we should always ask ourselves when we're working on those blocks. All right, I'm not saying anything in terms of sets, so hopefully you guys are feeling really good with those. Let's jump into some sparring techniques next here. So if you guys want to put some gloves on, put some gloves on. If you want to keep your hands free, then you can do that too. But we've been working on defensive kicks, and since you guys are tuning in here, we'll actually get a chance to get ahead of ourselves a little bit. The first kick we started working on was the defensive side kick. For everyone level 2 and 3, or all teens and adults, we're going to add another option in next week, which is the turn back kick. Defensive turn back kick, I should say. So we'll get a chance to practice that a little bit today. You'll get a little bit more in-depth in terms of the practice next week, all right? So defensive side kick here. This is used in sparring, right? So it's not a great self-defense technique, but is used better in sparring where we've got a little bit more of a point sparring style, right? Point sparring being whoever gets the first technique wins the point, wins that round. So I imagine that you guys are coming and trying to back knuckle me in the head, right? Trying to hit the side of my head there. Well, I can block and counter here, something we've worked on before, but I can also use my kicks. So as you back knuckle me, I'm going to lean away. I'm going to try and get a little bit more distance, using the fact that my leg is longer than your arm, right? Unless you're 6'10" like my uncle, in which case I'm pretty sure his arm is longer than my leg. Uncle Pat, if you're watching, hey, how you doing? All right, so from my ready stance here, if you're trying to back knuckle the side of my head, I'm going to lean away, I'm going to take this closest leg towards you and throw a side kick to the ribs. Because if you were back knuckling, see what's open? The ribs. So I'm going to lean back, throw that kick out. I cross my legs over, uncross them. Notice I've only moved away from you, and I get back to that sparring stance. Let's say I turn and I'm going to kick towards this Wave Master. You'll be able to see how my body moves and how my feet move in relation to that. So they move in, they're trying to back knuckle me. I lean away first. My close legs, side kicks. Keep my hands up here. I'm going to cross in front of my body, so I should be able to see my leg in front of me here. That's going to allow me to move a little bit more fluidly and a little more naturally than if I bring it back this way, where you can already tell I'm starting to walk backwards, and I'm not too great at that. Side kick, step, uncross, and I'm able to keep my eyes on my target the whole time. Here we go. Lean back, side kick, shuffle those feet out there, all right? Let's practice a little bit. We got about 30 seconds on our own here. I'm going to, again, be breaking it down as I practice, but if you just want to get practice time on your own, go for it. Let's begin. All right, I'm in my sparring stance. My partner's over here towards that lead hand, leaning away from them, kicking to the ribs, crossing, uncrossing. Both my feet get a chance to move. Say I'm over here. Now here's my lead hand, lead leg. Lean, side kick, step, and then the other leg here gets to step out and get right back to that sparring stance. We got about 5 more seconds here. Good. One more. And break. So quick note, there is another way that you can do this. Kind of requires a little bit more space because the benefit of this other version is that you can cover more ground. If someone is really coming in fast, you can get away and get more distance between you and them. So I'm going to get like all the way up here to the corner just so I know I've got the room, right? And I know that part of my stance is out of frame right now. But it has a little bit of a hop on this back foot. So what I would do, and we'll practice this a little bit more when we got the space for it, but I want you guys to be aware that this is an option. Is I lean, a little hop when I kick, and shuffle out. Let me go at a little bit of a different angle here. You might be able to see the hop a little bit better. Back, hop. Ooh, it's a little tough. One more time. Right over here, you'll be able to see this foot, even though I'm hiding behind the Wave Master right now. Lean, kick, boom, a little bit of a hop, and you can tell, whew, I'm covering a lot more ground with that one. Especially if I had a lot of space, I'd be covering a lot of ground. All right, so beginners and level 1 kids, I want you guys to continue to work on just that defensive side kick. For anybody that would like to see what we're going to start working on next week with the defensive turn back kick, then stick around, watch this basically, okay? So, defensive turn back kick is often used if you had swapped sides and the leg that you know is a little bit quicker because we're generally going to have one leg that we rely on a little bit more for our kicks. That leg is behind us. So for me, it's my right leg. If it's in front, boom, I'm going to side kick you right there. If it's behind me, I may not trust that left leg to get up there in time. I'm going to use my defensive turn back kick. Let me show you here. And shuffle out. Now, it looks a little more complex than it is, trust me. Watch my defensive side kick one more time, and then we're going to spot something similar in our turn back kick, okay? Here's my defensive side. Here's my defensive turn back. Notice I've swapped sides. You probably noticed that the end there is identical, right? The footwork is the exact same. We just change our approach to it, that first move. So instead of starting with my kicking leg here in front of me, I'm going to move it behind me. My lead leg, and I know you can't quite see it, but it's this one right here in front. I'm going to step away from you. I'm going to turn and look over my other shoulder. So if it's my left leg, then I'm looking over my right. Side kick or back kick, depending if you want the turn back, turn side. And then you just step away like you would for a defensive side kick. That's simple, huh? Right? Turn and spot. I see my target. Back kick, shuffle out. That will look a little bit more like a side kick. Let me make sure I can get those toes pointed down. Turn, spot, kick, and out. That's the defensive turn back kick, right? The only change is really that setup. Instead of starting right here with this leg in front of me to pow and kick, it starts behind me. I step away, I kick, and then I follow that same exit strategy. Shuffle on those feet. So I want to wrap this up with about 45 seconds of some shadow boxing and sparring style. So think about your sparring techniques. Lead leg side, back knuckle punches, lead hand, ridge hands, right? Hook around if you had worked on that before. and add these defensive side kicks in a little bit more, okay? Or defensive turn back kicks, all right? About 45 seconds, ready? Shadow box, go. Back knuckle punch is something we all know. Side kick, back knuckle punch. I know we worked on that offensive kick more recently, right? Turn spot kick. Maybe going this way, I've got my roundhouse, back knuckle punch. Maybe you want to double up on those kicks. You go side round, back knuckle punch. Maybe I'm going to come in side kick and then ridge hand punch. Ooh. Maybe I come in for that side kick, fake the back knuckle and a ridge hand afterwards. Get back out there. Round, round, round. Triple roundhouse kick. Follow those defensive side kick. Yeah. Good, we got under 10 seconds here, guys. Couple more. Make sure that you're not running into anything. Hey, Sifu Rishi, jumping in. We got a couple more seconds of defensive turn back kicks or defensive side kicks or shadow boxing. Let's get a couple bonus seconds. 5 more bonus seconds. One more combo. Hook round, back knuckle punch, and break. Woo. I'm gonna take these gloves off. Nice work, everybody. If you were wearing some gloves, go ahead and put those down there. Nice work on the defensive side kick. Again, I wanted to make sure we got an intro to it this week so that we had a chance to start working on those defensive turn back kicks, all right? And we had a chance to work on those blocking sets earlier. Hopefully everything's feeling great with those. You guys are ready for tip testing on it next week. Whether you're doing the tip testing by submitting the video online, or if weather clears up nice enough for us, we're able to have classes next Monday, then doing it then. A couple other announcements. First one, you guys can probably tell outside it's not super healthy out there, right? Classes for tomorrow and Saturday, unfortunately, are canceled. We want to make sure that you guys are safe. We want to make sure that our instructors are safe too. And staying outside for 3 hours in teaching or coming and exercising for 40 minutes outside probably isn't the healthiest choice. So do your best to train inside. Right? Work those blocking sets. See if you can review any striking sets you remember. Or, hey, if there's pinions from the past that you've worked on, see what you can do, right? See what you can remember. Other than that, there's the new schedule that starts next week. Give me a corner if we can go outside. So make sure that you're aware of what that is. Double check the website, updating the PDF file on there pretty soon to make sure that that one is correct as well. But we've got some afternoon classes, so that way everyone who is going to school, right, with a little more morning of a schedule from what we've heard of, 8:30 to around 11:30, right? So we got some afternoon classes to make sure that we can accommodate that. I believe that is it for my announcements. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are staying safe. To all of you who've been training in the class, it's been fun having you guys here. Everyone who's been training at home, it's been really fun to see you guys post and what you've been doing at home too. But hope you guys have a great night. Let's come to attention. If you have any questions for me, I'll be around for about 3-4 minutes here after we bow out, all right? Let's bow out of here. Class dismissed. Nice work, guys. Give yourself a quick round of applause. Give yourself a pat on the back. Nice work, everybody. Make sure you guys drink some water. I'm going to get mine right now. Bye, Sifu Miran. Have a great Thursday, sir. If I don't see you, then have a good weekend too, everybody. Make sure you guys all stay safe. Make sure you're getting prepped up for the school year starting next week. Oh yes, please drink lots of water. It can get deceptive outside. It feels like it should be cooler, right? But still kind of warm. Bye, Sebastian. Thank you for joining. Sifu Rishi, it's good to hear from you too. Blocking sets. Had a blast doing these guys. Both getting to do the sets and all the old school martial arts stuff in online classes. Yes, cue up that music, get it to the beat. Thanks for joining, Alicia. Hope you have a safe evening. All right, everybody. Anybody still here? I hope you guys have a great evening. stay healthy, keep drinking water, get some good sleep tonight, all right, guys? Good night, everybody. I actually have an end stream button this time, so I'm not gonna look wild doing this, trying to figure it out. Bye, everyone.